Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to explain something about paragraph 7.5, where you need to use the different methods to solve something. And before I start with exercise 62, I would like to look at the three different methods. In your book, you will find method 1, a times b is equal to 0. I just want to separate it into different methods, like what we need to use. I just call it method A, the product sum method. The product sum. Then you find an equation like a random number, x squared, plus another random number times x, plus c is equal with 0, and c is also a random number. So you need to find an equation where you find something with x squared, something with x, and something with just a number without an x. Then we have method method B. Now we're gonna factorize. So we're gonna put a term outside your bracket. In that case, you will find it as a form like ax squared plus bx is equal with 0. So not with that number, the c. So you see something with x squared and something with an x. Now then the last method, I'm just call it the method x squared is equal with c, and that's the theory on page number 125. Then you find something with ax squared plus c is equal with 0. So something with x squared and something with just a c without an x. Now, and we need to think about which three theories we're gonna use. Alright, let's just have a look at the first exercise, exercise 62a. And first we're gonna look which theory we're gonna use. Yeah, so in exercise A, I find something with x squared and plus x and a 9x. So we're gonna use the product sum method. So method number A. So x squared plus 8 is equal with 9x. When you need to create on the right side is equal with 0. So you get x squared minus 9x in the right order plus 8 is equal with 0. Yeah, very important. Alright, to use the product sum method, we need to find a multiplication, what is 8, and if we add them, you get minus 9. Like 4 times 2, because 4 times 2 is 8, but if I add them, you get 6 and not minus 9. So maybe 8 and 1, because 8 plus 1 is 9, but again, not minus 1. So it needs to be 8 minus, x minus 8 and x minus 1, because together that's minus 9, is equal with 0. So x minus 8 needs to be 0, or x minus 1 needs to be 0. So x is 8 or x is minus 1. Alright, so that's exercise A. Exercise B. X squared plus 9x is equal with 3x. Now if we look at which theory we're going to use, A, B or C, we're going to use theory B. Because I only see something with x squared and x. Again, we need to create on the right side is equal with 0. So you get x squared plus 6x is equal with 0. Factorize to put the x outside the bracket. Get x plus 6 is equal with 0. So x is 0, or x plus 6 is 0. So x is minus 6. There you go. Let me just go on with exercise C. Again, we're gonna look which theory we're gonna use. And in this case, I see only something with x squared and numbers. So we're gonna use theory C. Alright, so we need to create on the right side the numbers and on the left side the x squared. So if I subtract 9 left and even on the right side, then you get x squared is equal with 1. So x is the square root of 1, or x is minus the square root of 1. So x is 1 or x is minus 1. There you go. Exercise D. X squared plus 7x is equal with x plus 7. Alright, theory A, B, or C needs to be theory A. Why? Because if I create on the right side is equal to 0, you get x squared plus 6x minus 7 is equal with 0. Alright, product needs to be minus 7, and if I add them, you need to get 6, like x plus 7 and x minus 1 is equal to 0. So x plus 7 is 0, so x is minus 7, or x minus 1 is 0, so x is 1. Exercise E. X squared plus 3x is equal with 33 minus 5x. Okay, choose between A, B, or C. Yes, theory A. Why? X squared plus 8x minus 33, you can do immediately those steps, is equal with 0. So x plus 11 and x minus 3 needs to be 0. X plus 11 is 0, or x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x is minus 11, or x is 3. There you go, that's exercise E. Alright, exercise F. 9x squared minus 19 is equal with 17. So theory A, B, or C? Theory C, because again we see only the x squared and numbers. We need to create on the left side x squared, on the right side the numbers, so you get 9x squared is equal with 36. There's still 9 in front of x squared, so divided by 9, x squared is equal with 4. And now you can take the square root. X is the square root of 4, or x is minus the square root of 4. So x is 2, or x is minus 2. So that's exercise F. G. 16x squared minus 81 is equal with 0. Theory C, do we need to use? So you get 16x squared is 81, and now you need to divide it with 16. Then you get x squared is equal with the 81 over 16. And we can't simplify 81 over 16. If you simplify it, you get a mixed number, but we will leave it as 81 over 16. Why? Because if I grab the x, then you need to solve it. X is equal with the square root of 81 over 16. That's exactly the same as x is the square root of 81 over the square root of 16. So that's exactly the same as 9 over 4. And if we simplify that one, you get 1 over 4. Now you do exactly the same with the negative square root. There you go. So that's x is minus 1 over 4. Yeah, so think about that you sometimes leave the improper fraction instead that you make a mixed number of it, because then if you need to take the square root of it, it's much easier. Then exercise H, 16x squared minus 81x is equal with 0. Then we're gonna use theory B. So we're gonna factorize. So we will take the x outside the bracket, then you get 16x minus 81 is equal with 0. So x is 0, or 16x minus 81 is 0. So 16x is 81. So 1x is 81 over 16. And now we can simplify it as 5 1 over 16. So the two solutions are x is 0 or 5 1 over 16. And then the last one, exercise I, x squared plus 4 is equal with 7x minus 6. To choose which theory, we're gonna choose theory A. So you get x squared minus 7x plus 10 is equal with 0. Then you have x minus 5 and x minus 2 is equal to 0. So x minus 5 is 0, or x minus 2 is 0. So x is 5 or x is 2. So those are the solutions from exercise 62, where it's very important that you choose the right method, or the product sum method, or you need to factorize, so to create one bracket, or you need to use the square root in the form like x squared is equal with c. So good luck.